Desperate Housewives, but this actress and activist wants you to know her also about her push for a Latino landmark right here in the nation's capital. And joining us now, Eva Longoria Parker. She needs no introduction. She's here in the Situation Room. Eva, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you. I'm nervous being in this room.
Don't be nervous. This is just the Situation Room.
Watched many things go down in this room.
It's a big show. Let's talk a little bit about why you've come to Washington. Two reasons. First of all, a new museum that you would like to see get off the ground.
Yes, I would love to. I've just been appointed to the commission for the National Museum of American Latinos. And it's a commission that's going to research, cite, funding, content, and legislation toward including art and culture and our contributions to this country.
And you'd like it to be on the National Mall someplace?
Yes,
or?
yes. Well, you know, that's the commission is going to do this.
This is still several years down the road.
Yeah.
It's a big project.
It took the Native American Museum 20 years. It took the African American Museum. It still has.
But those are like models, something that you'd like to see.
Yes, absolutely.
And you're confident that this can happen?
I'm very confident. I mean, you know, that's what the commission is going to do. It's our job to report to Congress whether or not this is doable, feasible, fundable, and so that's kind of my responsibility with the commission. But it's important. I think it's important because Latinos have been present in every phase of history in this country, and this museum is going to celebrate that and let the rest of the country know all of the contributions that we've made.
And we have a two-day special. Our Soledad O'Brien has done Latino in America, and I know you're a major part of that special documentary as well. We're looking forward to seeing that. The other big reason you're in Washington today is why?
I'm hosting with George Lopez and Jimmy Smits tonight Fiesta Latina at the White House, which is in conjunction with Hispanic Heritage Month. And we're celebrating the heritage of music and our culture.
So you'll meet the President and the First Lady?
Yes.
Have you met them?
I have not.
You supported Hillary Clinton for the Democratic presidential nomination. You worked hard to try to get her the nomination.
I worked hard. I helped her win Texas. I'm a big fan of Hillary. I was a huge supporter of Hillary and a huge supporter of, obviously, President Clinton. And then it was to choose between two great people. And so
what do you think about this president?
I'm completely behind him. I completely support him.
On all the key issues?
Yeah, obviously there's some key issues that still haven't been addressed. I would love to see healthcare reform, absolutely.
The way he envisages it.
I agree with the way he envisions it, absolutely.
What about, because he got into a controversy, as you remember, when he addressed the joint session of Congress, and he said not a penny is going to go for illegal immigrants as far as the healthcare reform initiative. One congressman got up and sort of shouted out, "You lie," caused a big stir. What do you think about that?
Well, other than, that was totally inappropriate because there should be an amount of respect for the president. I think that people are confusing immigration reform and healthcare reform. And to assume that every Latino in America is an immigrant or wasn't born here is not true. Or is illegal is not true. I think, obviously, an issue close to my heart is immigration reform, comprehensive immigration reform.
He's delayed on that, as you know.
Well, there's a lot of stuff he's tackling right now. I think he's done more in the 10 months than a lot of people have done in past administrations. He has a lot on his plate. I would like to see this settled with a timeline that's a little more aggressive, because you can't address giving illegal aliens or undocumented people health care reform if we don't know their status. They're in the shadows. If we have comprehensive immigration reform, then we can identify their status, and then we can address what kind of services and support we can give.
This is a huge issue, not only for the Hispanic Latino community in the United States, but a huge issue for a lot of people. If you had your way, and if you see the president later tonight and he said, "What do you think, Eva? What should I do about this?" What brief piece of advice would you give him?
What's the elevator spiel? Well, I think are we talking about healthcare reform or immigration?
No, we're talking about comprehensive immigration reform. Healthcare reform, he's got his initiative.
One main thing about immigration reform that I feel is very important is it needs to be taken out of the local and the state authorities. To have different states enforcing different laws. Arizona just passed this punitive law about renting, and you have to show proof of this and that. And then you have other areas that are a little more welcoming to this community because they provide such an economic contribution.
You want to see a uniform standard.
It needs to be. It's a national issue. It's our Constitution.
And the
clearly
10 or 15 or whatever number of illegal immigrants in the country right now, you'd like to see them have an opportunity to get some sort of legal status.
Yes, because there's no family in this country. There's not a lot of families in this country. I don't want to generalize that are not multinational. There's a mother that's from Mexico, but the kids are born in America. There's fathers who are from Colombia who children are attending school. So, yes, I think this is a national issue because it's clearly stated in our Constitution that immigration is a security issue, but it's one issue. You can't have all the states doing their own things.
Your own personal attitudes on these Hispanic issues, Latino issues, they've evolved over the past year.
Yeah.
Is that right? Because you told me when Soledad interviewed you for the special, you had a stance, but it's sort of changed or modified, especially now that you're getting a master's degree in this area. Briefly give me one area, one example of how your views, Eva's views have evolved.
Well, I think obviously it's studying the history of where we come from and knowing that there are way more nativist in our community that we give credit for. I personally am a 9th generation American, and I've never crossed a border. The border crossed us. My family has been under 5 different flags and has never moved from the land that we currently still have. And I think there's a lot of people like me, and there's a lot of people within our community that represent different cultures, different identities, Cuban, Puerto Rican, Mexican, and it's what's changed for me is just knowing that I feel like history is repeating itself. When after World War I, there was this push-pull effect for immigrants to come and tend to the farms, and then everybody came back and they said, okay, get out, and we pushed them out. Then World War II came, and then we said, okay, everybody come back, we need you to work the farms again, and then that war ended, and they go, okay, go away. And that's happening again now that there's a strain, obviously, economically in our country. We're the scapegoats again, or these immigrants are the scapegoats. Okay, get out. You can't have that push-pull effect, and we can't welcome these people as laborers, but deny them as citizens.
But you're upbeat looking ahead.
I am upbeat looking ahead. I think there's a lot of, obviously, issues. I'm a big advocate for the United Farm Workers and for MALDEF, and trying to advocate for farm worker rights. And it's not a citizenship. It's not an immigration issue for them. It's a human rights issue. There are people, the people who feed our nation, the most well-fed nation in the world, often go to bed hungry. And so there's a lot of reform that needs to happen.
Tony Parker, the great basketball player for the San Antonio Spurs, they're going to have a good season, but I'm going to tell you, the Washington Wizards, my team, we're coming back big time. I'm looking forward to that.
Let me tell you, send Gilbert Arenas a message that he better play this year.
Gilbert Arenas, he'll be playing this year, so will Antoine Jameson, the entire team.
Yeah, but so we have Timmy and Manu and Tony and Richard Jefferson, and we have McDyke.
Are you coming to Washington when San Antonio is going to be at the Verizon Center?
I would
saw
like
you
to.
here last season.
I was here last season. It always depends on my schedule, but
I'll find you.
okay.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Good luck with the museum.
Thank you.
And we're only days away from